All right, welcome to week 2, Duskmourn League. It's our weekly feature matches. We have tonight Adrian C playing, who we're going to be watching, and he's going to be facing off against Keelan T. And we've got Curtis here with me today for the first 2 matches on commentary, and he's going to be telling us what's in Keelan's hand over there.
Yeah, so first thing I notice is what a keep. He kept 2 planes, a white 2-drop, and 4 uncastable cards. um,
On the play, no
on
less.
the play.
Well,
On the play. That is. Oh man.
well,
If this works, I mean, if he draws a blue or a red, he's got a removal spell with a 2-drop or a glass works.
yeah. So I mean, I know a
And
lot of the best players we have here on our server, they go for some risky keeps that sometimes I might say mulligan
yeah,
to. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We'll just have to see. Adrian
yeah,
here did take a mulligan, but he has a pretty functional hand here. He has a twitching doll on turn 2, so if that gets going, he'll be able to cast his spells
okay. There
properly.
is a removal spell in
Okay.
Keelan's hand that he can
However,
cast, so that's
okay.
but no third land so far.
Yeah, so rest of hand for Adrian is Glimmer Seeker, Toby, the Beastie Befriender, Defiant Survivor, Say Its Name, and Coordinated Clobbering. So no other lands yet. Seems to have a green-white deck. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so just checking
So
the players' records before the game. Adrian's at 4-4, and he's running a current deck of 63 cards, so that's pretty average. Keelan, on the other hand, he is 6-0, which in most leagues is great. In this league, I mean, it's good, but it just means that once he loses, he's going to be adding a boatload of cards to his currently 60 card deck.
yeah. Yeah, so Keelan's actually choosing between removal spells right now. He had the exercise. He also has a sheltered by ghosts in his hand. Um, Still no third land.
All right, so pretty much the best draw that Adrian could have asked for here in Plains. That basically unlocks every card in his hand now. So
Okay.
it's just a matter of
Okay.
which 3
So
drop he wants to deploy, whether it's Glimmer Seeker, Toby, or the Defiant Survivor. We'll take a moment here to think about that. So, yeah. So with Keelan, like normally being 6-0 is great. Once you lose, you get a pack. Perfect. If he
okay,
loses
you
this
got a
match,
planes there.
if he loses this match, he's adding 12 cards to his deck, or somewhere between 8 and
Potentially
12
could only,
cards. But
yeah, 8 and 12. Yeah.
yeah, so
Um,
that's a lot.
it sure is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
They
real
grab the
punishing
planes
here.
there.
Yeah, this is real
Yeah.
punishing.
I will
Uh,
say he has a savior of the small if he draws a fourth land.
okay.
Um, so that's good, but he needs another land here
Yeah.
badly.
Normally, Sheltered by Ghosts has the downside of if if the creature goes away, they get their creature back. But here, you just grabbed a 4/4 token, leaving Adrian
Yeah.
with just a 1/1 here, and this 3/2 flying lifelink is going to do some work. But looks like
Yeah.
Adrian found a way around it here with a well, not quite yet, but in next turn he can use the coordinated clobbering. He'll have to
Okay,
pay
he's
for
got
the
that in his
ward.
hand. That card is good.
Yeah, so he'll
That
he'll
card
be
is really
able to
impressive.
cast that with the glimmer.
Okay.
He has a no, he doesn't have enough
Oof.
mana. If he draws a land, he'll be able to play Glimmer Seeker, and no, he still won't be able to cast it because of the ward.
Gotcha. So
Yeah,
so no land again for Keelan.
I mean he's sort of doing okay in the meantime. He does have a flying lifelink, but
Yeah, that's going away.
yeah. So without a land here, Adrian might just have to bite the bullet and just coordinated clobbering to stop taking damage here.
Yeah,
But
yeah, you gotta do it. It also gives you a manifest dread
yeah,
on the trigger. I think that's kind of just a scripted play at the moment.
yeah. So I mean, he would have liked to do more, maybe put something else in play, but the ward is taxing him a bit too much here. But he does get a 2/2 to block the other acrobatic cheerleader, so that he doesn't have access
Yeah,
to
that's good.
another flyer. So what's the color of the other cards in hand here for
He's
Keelan?
got a blue and red, so he's got a
Okay.
Glassworks in hand, Savior of the Small, and then 2 blue spells, a Stalked Researcher and an Unnerving Grasp.
Yeah.
Um,
So interesting manifest here. He chose the insidious fungus, which is the creature.
okay.
Um, but he
Oof.
has shown his
Yes.
opponent that he has a split up, which is down in the graveyard. But yeah.
Yeah, I think actually I saw on his bull he has 2.
Oh wow, yeah,
Yeah.
not bad.
He's got. I think I saw he had 3 twitching dolls and 2 split ups.
So if you have both in hand, you get to kill all creatures, right? That's how that works.
Yeah.
We figured it out. All right,
Yeah.
so
Do you swing with the survivor here?
I mean, he does have another one in hand. I mean, it's. I feel like once you get one manifest out of that card, you're kind of happy to
You're
trade it out.
happy.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah. I swing with both here, knowing they're stuck on lands.
I got a manifest out of it. Cool. Like I
Yeah.
can't really expect under any normal circumstance to get more than one manifest out of this before it dies, whether either to
Yeah.
removal or to a trade. But looks like
Yeah.
another one might be coming down, either that or the Glimmer Seeker.
I mean, I think I just throw another one down. Yeah. Because if they don't draw a land now, they're basically saying you're just gonna get a free attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's game.
yeah, so Keelan's given himself a nice little life boost here with that life linker, but it's gonna start pinning him now. So
Yeah.
he decides to flip up the fungus, which is denying him a damage. So he's gone down one damage, but just having that ability, hanging over Keelan's
Yeah. Gives
next
you the
plays.
chance to draw an extra land too.
Yep.
And
And
now he leaves that up.
he's just going to fill the
Okay,
board here.
just
He says
jam.
if there's a board wipe somewhere, he's going to
Well,
be
he
in
got a fourth
now.
land, but it was a plains, and it was way too late.
Yeah, so it's not just necessarily attack everything here. There is some finesse that's needed if you know he doesn't want his creature to
What's that
just
face
eat,
down
but he
card?
is going to do that now. It's just a land under the
Okay, gotcha.
manifest. So he's put down the
I mean, you
hospital
can.
room, which pumps an attacker. So he's
Yeah,
decided.
you can swing with a survivor, force the attack, force the block.
I mean, Glimmer
Yeah.
Seeker is definitely going to be
Or yeah,
a
or you
good
throw it on the
target
Glimmer Seeker.
because it doesn't, it won't trade. With Defiant Survivor, you're just boosting it up to a trade, which is, I mean, it's okay here.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I think it's the argument here is that I don't think you can give him another 2/2. Right, like I don't know. I
Yeah,
think I trade with the survivor here. I'm 1 in 5 right now, so
it's
maybe I'm not
it's like
correct there,
the
but
the value hound in me says I'm just gonna eat the 3/3. Like I have
yeah.
to.
But I think
I have
down
to
this
eat this 3/3.
far,
I can't lose my creature. But
yeah.
yeah, throwing another two.
I mean, he drew red, so he's got a 4 damage spell in hand, so he can kill the survivor,
It's
block another
still
one.
it'll still be lethal because he'll be able to attack for 8. So
Uh,
he
you
has
are correct.
6. No, no, it'll just be 7.
Actually, yeah, because he puts it on
Yeah, he'll
Toby.
put it on something.
Yeah, I'd put it on Toby, swing with all if he wants to.
So
I don't know. Also, like,
under the second manifest is an optimistic scavenger, which is the
okay,
1/1 with Eerie, and you put a counter on
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
But he's just gonna do this. He'll say, "Yeah, I can put you to 1. So let's do that. Let's go
Fair,
on the put you to
totally
1
fair.
life plan."
Was there a play there where he had lethal if he flips the scavenger and unlocks the surgical suite? Gets an extra counter?
It'll be a one
No, because
one.
he just
It'll
blocks the
still be
3
the same
power.
2 power. It'll
Yeah,
still be the
you're right,
same
because he
two
still blocks
power
the
as the
3 power.
manifest offers, unflipped.
You're correct. You're correct.
Yeah, so I mean,
Because it
Keelan's
loses
just
power.
pondering over which creature to block here, but unless he does have something that can destroy all the creatures,
Hey,
it's not going to look
he's got nothing
too
in his
good.
hand.
Yeah, I mean, he has a draw step. Adrian,
Yeah.
he does have a creature in hand. He'll just cast it. It's this creature from
Fair.
Innistrad, 3/3 that makes a 1/1.
Yep. Another land here, but too late.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
the keep was a bit too punishing. The the deck did not work with him there. And
No.
yeah,
No.
we see Adrian's deck. Nice 2-color deck. I'm always in support of getting to 2 colors when possible and
Hmm.
when
Yeah.
viable, and he's done that here.
Looks like
Yeah,
Keelan's has a light red splash, mostly a blue-white deck. With 2 pieces of fixing, only 3 mountains total. He's got an overlord, a blue overlord,
yeah,
which is
that's
pretty
good.
sweet.
Yeah, I mean this is his
Yeah.
starting pool, right? He has not added a pack yet, so
Yeah.
this is with his
Yeah.
starting pool. it's really rare that you get a functional two-color deck right out the gate. So yeah,
He's close though. He's really close.
yeah.
He's only got like I think maybe 4 or 5 red cards I saw.
Unfortunately, his colors are going to be increasing. I think on his first
Oh
loss
yeah.
because
Oh
he'll
yeah.
be playing more of a three-color deck than he is now. So
I'm curious to see how the win streaks go in this league with when somebody goes on like the guy in first place right now is on a 9 game win streak. That
yeah,
loss is
I
adding
mean we got people up in the
10,
70s.
15
Yeah, we
cards.
got people up in the 70s
Yeah.
right now. So
The highest this year now
I
is
believe we are going to
76
be seeing
cards.
one of them in the next match with Caleb. I know he was up in the 70s.
He's at 74
Yeah,
right
so we're
now.
going to get to see exactly what a 74 card
Yeah.
deck looks like and if it's pretty or not. So yeah, basic white green deck here.
Look about his.
Somehow three copies of the Twitching Doll in his deck.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's
That's pretty crazy. That card is
he's a
good.
doll man. He's got the doll maker's shop too, which is that
Ooh.
mythic room. So
Yeah. What
he's
like when you
he's
attack, make a 1/1 and a 6 mana like overrun effect kind of
yeah. All your creatures have power and toughness equal to the number of creatures.
number of creatures. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's just deciding what he wants to sideboard here. I don't know if he saw enough to know that he wants to make huge sideboards, but he is bringing in a couple more. Looks like he brought in like a couple of two-drop creatures, maybe just to fight against
Yeah. It's still
the
two
survival two-drops we
cheerleaders.
saw. Bring in a couple
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
things, but
Yeah.
nothing big.
Keelan sideboarded exactly nothing. Has another rough keep.
That
Oh man.
is, I mean, again, speaking from experience, my zero loss deck usually doesn't have a sideboard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
So
unlikely.
yeah. So he kept a 7. He's got 5 lands, 2 spells. Can cast them both, but not much of a curve. He's got a 2. He's got a room that's a grand entryway, make a 1/1 for 2 mana, and then the 3 mana put a counter on each of 2 creatures. So it's not really the curve you want to do. And
Yeah.
then he's got a Savior of the Small
So
as
Adrian
well.
did have a slow hand that had lands and spells, but he decided to mulligan.
Ship it.
Now he's looking at a one-lander with two twitching dolls, which
Ooh,
it's
on the draw.
it's about as keepable a one-lander as you could basically ever
Is that land of
think of.
forest? I assume.
Yeah, it's a forest. Nah, he said it's too
Okay.
risky. I mean, I get it,
Fair. Yeah. Now that's if you miss, you're dead. Now I will say Keelan's hand is not
but
aggressive.
going to five is
Uh,
also sometimes,
it's death.
going to be death as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. Keelan's hand is definitely the opposite of the last one. Um, he really needs to draw
Yeah.
a good 2 or
So
3
he
here.
decides to bottom the two green cards in his hand and just keep two planes and some white cards he can cast. So he will be
Fair.
playing spells at least for the first few turns.
Drew a 4 drop. That is not what we want to see. So he's gonna play the 2 drop room here, make a 1/1.
Yeah.
Currently, his only 3 is to unlock that room.
So Adrian's
So
got a Fear of Surveillance here. He's got a Glimmer Seeker for next turn, and he's got two jump scares, and that's his hand
okay, yeah.
with a planes.
Drew another island. Keelan is not having a good draw tonight.
Yeah, it's rough. Like these the I mean, this is basically like a day one deck.
Yeah,
These decks
it
could be rough.
literally
Like
is.
there's so many non-functional
Hmm.
draws, and I mean, it's such a loss of
Yeah.
value to pay three mana to put one counter on something. But
Yeah. Yeah, if I'm Adrian and I see that, you immediately
this
know his hand's terrible.
says I'm going to fall behind too far.
Yeah.
It does offer pause for Adrian of whether he wants to trade or not, and he might just opt not to because he has two jump scares in hand, so he can use those
Yeah.
to get through this.
You're down 2 cards, you need to punk them out with one of those.
Yeah.
I don't attack here.
He did
It's
draw
not
a
worth
green
it.
card here for turn, so not great. Monstrous
Okay.
emergence, but
Interestingly,
let's see what happens.
Keelan drew an unnerving grasp, but he can buy his room back, which is nice. Um,
He can also
so he's
just
got
stave off the Glimmer Seeker if he wants.
yeah. He has a Savior of the Small in hand, which I think he's going to cast, and I think is probably the right move. It's not going to work out too well for him because of those 2 jump scares. Um, this is one of those moments where if you're Adrian, I think you want to slow roll this attack a little bit to kind of not say, "Hey, I have a pump spell."
Oh, just to think about it before doing what you're going to do
Hmm.
anyway.
Yeah, right. Because like, I think the double attack here is pretty fair. And actually, attacking with the Fear Surveillance says not only do I have a a pump spell, but it's good enough to make fear worth it.
Interesting that
So
he
I actually like
just
not attacking with fear
interesting that he
here.
just said I'm going to attack with one. So maybe that is trying to tell him that he has a very specific type of trick that helps the three
Yeah.
three
Are
get through,
there
but not the 2/2. But that's not really true for the one that he has. So maybe he's just
right?
playing a little
Yeah.
mind game here, which
Yeah. No.
we like to see.
Okay. I like the double block here. I think that's a good read, saying, hey, it's going to be at least +2/+2, so at least get the trade.
Yeah, he could have used the other jump scare to just get both creatures gone and get himself a
Hmm.
glimmer and have three creatures versus zero.
I'm kind of
Huh.
surprised he didn't do that there.
Yeah, I mean that seems like
I wonder if he
good
just.
deal to me. Seems like a good deal.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, this friendly ghost, like when I see it, I just don't like it, and then every time it hits play, I'm like, +2/+4 is so much.
Yeah,
Like,
I like it specifically in a survivor deck. I think it's a really good
yeah,
4-drop in a survivor deck,
yeah, it works.
simply for the fact that. And now here, if you're Keelan, I'm confused because if he has another jump scare that he didn't just
Yeah,
draw,
did he
why
just
didn't he cast it last time?
yeah, did he just draw it this turn? Like Keelan's like,
Yeah,
what's going on here?
yeah. I
So
think there's some mind games going on,
Adrian decided if he
but
wants to keep Toby on top, which is not a land.
for the record, I don't block here personally. Even knowing this, like, oof, man,
I, I
he's gonna
mean,
do it.
he says, I'll make him have it. He said,
Yeah,
he said, maybe Keelan said there is like this edge case where he absolutely needs to hit a land and he's willing to just put his Fear of Surveillance in the graveyard to get the Surveil trigger. Like maybe he's that. Mm,
yeah, desperate for it.
yeah, perhaps. He did keep a Toby on top, which is a castable, but it's not a
Okay,
land.
so I'm curious where this Unnerving Grasp is gonna go. I think it should go at the room to buy it back, and it looks like it will. Okay, so he hits a creature. It's
Yeah,
the Fear of Ability, the 5-drop with the stun. He won't get the stun
yeah.
counter because it doesn't enter,
But I mean,
but
yeah,
still 4/4.
having a 4/4 under there is pretty nice.
Yeah,
Um,
especially into free lands,
yeah,
4
Unnerving
cards.
Grasp has just been such a good card.
Oh,
I
that
mean,
card's
I
good.
think everybody knew it was going to be
Yeah,
good. I like to call it Man O Fest. You know,
yeah. Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Yeah,
it's good.
I mean, it at first glance it's Mana War, and then when you read it sooner, you're like, oh, wait a second, I can rebuy my own stuff with
No,
this.
it's Man O Fest. Yeah. Well, Man of
Yeah,
War just I believe says return target creature. That's the text.
is that correct?
Yeah, it's one of those old wordings where if it's the only creature in play, it returns itself.
Gotcha.
They don't really
Yep, it
do that
does. You're
anymore.
correct. Yeah.
But no,
Um,
this one hits anything that's not a land. So
yeah.
all right, so it looks like Keelan's going to spend his turn revealing that he has a 4/4 there, and it'll trade with the token, and we'll just
Yep.
get a 2/2 and a 1/1 on each side here.
That's an interesting attack to me. Um, knowing if I think it's worth it, but
Yeah, friendly Teddy.
knowing if they make the
Yeah,
block, you have to use your whole turn basically.
friendly Teddy is a classic week one card. Just it's two
Yep.
mana. I can cast it with any combination of two lands. Perfect.
Yeah. I also don't hate it as an anti-aggro card. Um, if
Yeah,
you're like kind of choked on 2-drops and you just like want to trade and get another card
yeah. I don't love
in your
the concept of giving
4-color pile.
a card to an aggro deck, but
Yeah, I don't know. My deck is currently not very good, so the concept of drawing another chance at the land I need is nice. All right, so he unlocks the room, goes for the attack.
yeah. I feel
Basically,
like this is going to be a split up next turn to wipe these creatures away.
does he have it in hand?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So he's had that basically since pretty early on.
okay.
So
Well, I mean that's a
still
good card to be sandbagging.
can't cast anything else in his hand. He has
Yeah.
he has two green cards and two white cards, but they're 4 drops. So
Okay.
he's
So you can go
stuck for the
for
time being.
tapped creatures here,
Yep.
be ahead on board, draw a card, maybe get a land off it too. Yep.
Yeah. So let's get this. Maybe he draws no land just to say its name, and he can even get in for an attack here. Yeah.
Doesn't go for the attack. I'd go for that attack, I
Yeah,
think.
found footage is another one of those cards that you put in, and right at the beginning, and you're
Yeah,
like,
it's first cut.
yeah. But for him, well, it's that's not true because his deck's going to grow, so he might have to put more
Yeah, it's true.
copies of
He might.
found
Yeah,
footage if he has
yeah,
them. It's quite the
yeah.
opposite.
So he's binning the Razorkin here. Just can't cast it. Makes sense.
Yeah,
His hand is currently on island and plains.
like this is
So,
this is quite like I'm not playing in this league, but like this is quite the absurdly painful punishment for going on a losing streak or a winning streak. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
like if like
yeah,
you start 6-0 and then like you look at your deck and you're like, wow, look at all these cards I want to cut. And then your first loss, you're like, no, I have to add 12. You're like, oh, jeez.
yeah. So I'm currently 2-5, and
Okay.
my strategy has been take take Theros just for the -4 dread, because if I ever do get on a win streak, you need that dread count to be down.
I will say
Uh,
the Theros packs that I've seen have looked pretty okay. Like
they've been okay. The problem is there's just such a lack of fixing
yeah,
in them.
no fixing, but
Yeah, I took a
Constellation
couple.
is supported.
Yep,
Graveyard, like
yeah,
great, like Self Mill supported with the escape, I guess. Yeah,
hmm yeah. So I think 2 Duskmourn, 3 Theros or something like that.
okay, it's
So
pretty.
I'm in the 50s right now. My deck is not cooperating with me right now. It's not very good.
Yeah, like
Um,
we have people ranging from like mid 70s to 40 cards. Like somebody has
yeah,
already reached the minimum.
yeah.
Like you cannot go
And
below 40,
interestingly,
and yeah, so we have
you
we
can
have a wide
actually
range here.
it is cumulative though. So if you go below 40, you still have to play 40 cards, but it will count later.
Yeah,
Interestingly, so like you can get your dread down to 20 and never have to worry about adding cards.
yeah, you just have to worry about being out of the league very very quickly. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
So
well, yeah, there's that. Yeah,
all right, there's a
yeah.
4/4 flying here, which is
Okay,
not
I mean,
not
yeah,
looking amazing for Adrian here. He does have a monstrous emergence in hand, but he does not have a 4 power creature to rumble with the
yeah.
chandelier. He has drawn his
If he can,
forest, so he can cast green
okay.
cards now, but the problem is the
Interestingly,
four
with the
forest.
hardened escort too, that can take it down to 2 damage,
So he's
2 life.
trying, yeah. So he's trying to, get Keelan to block with the 4/4 so he can monstrous emergence.
Okay, yeah.
The 2 for 1
Monstrous
set.
Emergence, is that the +3/+0 and Manifest Dread when it dies or something
No,
like
that's
that?
just the green. It's like the bite spell of the set.
The 2 mana
Yeah,
reveal a card.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
either reveal a card or choose a creature, and
hmm
monstrous emergence will deal the damage equal to the creature's power.
Yeah. I think at this point he's saying there's no way he has a third pump spell, right?
I mean, white
Uh,
green. That's the deck that's going to have the most pump spells most
yeah,
of the time because
that's
the whole
true.
point of the creatures is to survive combat. All right, so he's decided his best bet is to just put 2 creatures into play here. One of them
Alright,
is a
so we
cautious
got a
survivor
free
in the
block.
manifest.
I mean, this is a 2-turn clock. He's got to find something.
Yep, he needs. The thing is, he does have a cautious survivor under the manifest, but he'll
Okay.
need another forest to flip it up
Yeah,
and kill
and kill.
this
Okay.
malevolent chandelier, which is
So
just
Forest
wonderful.
or kill spell, I think is where we're at.
Blocker,
One
yeah,
draw.
I suppose blocker,
Yeah,
depending
the
on what
flyer.
Keelan has.
Throw
He,
the extra force back in the deck. That's not what you want to do right now, but oh well.
I think he's just trying to take him off delirium here.
Fair. Does he have any delirium cards in his deck? I guess it's in
I
green, so
mean,
he's just gotta.
yeah,
I mean, does.
green will have some, but
Yeah.
I mean, it just says okay, so fear of surveillance off the top means that
Game's over.
I mean, I guess he can attack with the manifest, and then if it's not blocked, he can flip it up, and he'll gain the 2 life because it's a cautious survivor.
Well, but hardened escort attacks in too. It makes it a
Oh,
5 power.
yeah. So he's out of options, it seems to
Yeah.
me.
Unless he can remove the escort, but then you just remove the
Nah,
chandelier.
he still can't do both. He only has one green. The one green here, and
Mhm.
I say it a lot, right? Like people are playing 3 color decks, and us 2 color players can't even get our second color, or we can't get the second land
Yeah.
of our other color, and we got people out here playing 3 and 4 colors and not getting punished a lot.
It be that way sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
my deck is currently split between all of my rares are in blue green, and all of my fixing and uncommons are in Mardu.
Oh,
So I've yeah.
so
So
five
I've got
color.
like I'm not currently playing five color. I've been flipping back and forth between
Okay.
the Simic and the Mardu the deck, and I just can't decide which one's better.
Yeah,
Um,
it's tough. Yeah, so we are going to a game
Great.
three here
Nice.
for our first match, and let's see what he decides to do here. I don't know if he saw anything that makes him. I'm surprised he's not playing. I think it's called Make Your Move from MKM.
What does that one do?
I believe it's kind of like Exorcise, except it's 3 mana. It's like a
Oh,
three
that
mana
one only
instant.
destroys
Yeah,
though.
I mean that's still like hits a lot of things.
Yeah, but you want in this set specifically, I think you want Exile on your enchantment removal because of the Overlords, um,
Yeah, if you can.
and the Enduring
Yeah, he
ones.
does. He
Like,
does have Break Down the Door and Insidious Fungus in his deck as an enchantment
okay,
pool.
okay,
So I guess he
nice.
figures I don't need the other one.
Yeah, that's fair. So no sideboarding from Keelan as expected.
Yeah, there's a couple cards here that I just generally like, whether I mean like for this matchup or not. But Market Watch Phantom was a really good card. I'm surprised he's not running that one. That was the
What
MKM.
card's that
It was just
one?
a 2 mana 2/2 that gets flying whenever a 2 power creature enters.
Oh,
It's just a little.
that's a
It's just like
quite a
one
good
of the
card in
white
this
two
set.
two. When a 2 power creature enters, it has flying. It's on the turn.
Cool.
He put in. It looks like I took out a cautious survival and put in a centipede, the 3 drop, maybe just to lower the curve slightly, make sure he gets the lands that he needs. But again, no
Yeah.
major changes here, and
Oh man, Keelan
very
just can't buy a good keep.
very slow looking hand here for Adrian. Based on what I've seen from him, he will be sending it
All
back,
right.
and he does. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. All right. This is a keep for sure on Keelan's side. First one was a one lander. He's got a friendly Teddy, an unnerving grasp, fear of immobility, and an overlord of the flood pits, and 3 lands.
Yeah. So
So I think,
here's another one of those
and he's
teeth clenchers with one forest and 2 mana dorks, and he
oof.
didn't keep this
Yeah.
hand. He didn't keep this hand last time, so
Okay.
I don't know if he's
He
going to keep it again.
yeah.
He's deciding.
Fair. Yep. Keelan's deciding between putting the fear of
Oh,
immobility back or the friendly Teddy back, and I think he just puts fear of immobility back here.
put the card you can
Um,
cast. I think keep the card you can
yeah,
cast.
yeah, because he gets to go Teddy on 2, Overlord on 3,
So
and
after
that or Overlord or Grasp on
so
3.
after dumping basically the same hand last time, he has kept this time. So he said, it'll be
Okay.
different. It'll be different now.
Yeah. Yeah. Fear goes on the bottom. Makes sense. I think we're gonna see Teddy
And
on 2,
forest off the
Overlord on
top.
3.
So
Okay.
basically his hand's functional now. I mean, he needed that land and he
Okay.
got it. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
So
Another.
sometimes you pick up the land on turn two and you never remember that you kept a one lander on the play, and then other times you lose on the spot on turn two. But
Yeah.
we're gonna get it.
So he actually drew the researcher here and decides to play it for turn. He has a Shelter by Ghost in hand, so I think we'll be seeing that remove that twitching doll. I
Yeah,
don't think you can let that card stick around.
and I mean another interesting card Adrian has that plays well with the set is the Tunnel Tipster from MKM. It's the 2 mana 1/1 taps for a green, and at the beginning of the end step, it gets a +1 counter if a face down creature entered under your control. So
Okay.
cool little
So I
cool little synergy piece, but
yeah.
Cautious Survivor is very big here.
Yeah. So he also has an unnerving grasp in hand. He could just bounce the twitching doll, which really slows it down, makes it a lot less scary. Um, but he also has the Overlord that he could just cast for impending right now and start
All right,
drawing some
so
cards, which looks
lots
like what
of
he's gonna do.
seems like quite a few very good choices here. Like they
Yeah,
all seem
yeah.
to
His, I
be
mean,
decent.
there's a friendly Teddy in his hand that's not great, but he's got a Sheltered by Ghost, a Unnerving Grasp, and an Overlord. So I don't know. This is close. Do you develop your board and get your hand better, or do you slow them down? And looks like he decides to go with the Overlord,
Okay,
which I think is fair.
he's gonna take a little bit of pain this turn with the four
Yeah,
four, but
I think
should
he's
get
gonna
his
be
hand here.
happy he did that though, because he actually didn't draw any lands there. He's only got one land in hand.
Okay,
Um,
another forest off the
so
top here. Yeah, so he's probably just going to play out the rest of his hand here, or the rest of the creatures in his hand.
Yep. So he did draw an exercise and a grand entryway again, so
Right, well,
some good removal options.
exercise is an answer to Twitching Doll as well.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep, so,
He's got a bounce spell. Adrian's gonna need an answer for
yep, so
this
he's gonna play out
Overlord
his
for
hand. He
sure.
has a cord. His last card is the Coordinated Clobbering, the 1 mana spell where
Okay.
you can tap things to have them punch
That's
a
an
creature.
answer to Overlord after you've gone down like 6 cards, but you gotta do what you gotta do, I
Well,
guess.
no, he can actually
Um,
answer it in between, like because at the end step it loses a counter. It loses last counter.
oh, true.
So
It does become a creature.
yeah,
You do
so
have a
Adrian
chance
will
sorcery
untap
speed.
in 3 turns, and it'll
Yeah.
be a creature.
Okay. So he's looking at this exercise on the twitching doll. Looks like he's gonna fire that off. I think that's fair. Don't want to give him a bunch of
Yeah,
tutus.
I wonder if he's gonna do the
And
Sheltered by Ghosts here.
I was thinking about it. I think the Grand Entryway is gonna come down here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Although he's going back and forth. Oh, looks like he might go with the Sheltered by Ghosts. Maybe hit the Survivor.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, he's
definitely he'll get
waffling.
rid of the 4/4 if he does that. No, he says I don't need
Yeah,
to kill it
yeah,
just
yeah.
yet. We can find
Definitely
a better
waffling a little
spot.
bit.
Maybe
Yep.
he's thinking he wants to put the Shelter by Ghosts on the big flyer.
Fair.
Perhaps
Give
the
it
thought that
ward.
he's thinking. Yeah, give it lifelink too. Yeah, Shelter
Yeah,
by
that's
Ghosts
fair.
is such a swingy card. Like when it works, it's
Yeah,
so good for you. You are so
yeah.
ahead.
I
And when it
yeah.
doesn't work, it's not even that bad because it's like opponent had to pay an extra 2, and they get their thing
Mhm.
back. But you got a big life swing, even if it dies
And
after the
it's
first attack.
yeah. It's absolutely a tempo card as well. It's just like, hey, I removed your blocker. Um I got my survivor trigger off.
Yeah, so interesting.
Now you
He's
have to use
yeah,
basically your whole turn. I'm surprised that came down that fast.
yeah. He
Is he just going?
just wants to put the pressure on. His split up in hand is
It's
obviously
he's
not useful here.
staring down 3 removal spells in hand.
All right,
So
well, it looks like Keelan's gonna just pick off the creatures, and then
yeah,
we'll have a top deck war.
yeah,
But Keelan's gonna have a 5/3 flyer.
yeah. So he got the unnerving grasp again. And the sheltered by ghost and a vanish from sight was his draw for turn. Um, so he's definitely a little clunky in the mana. He can double spell here if he does grasp and sheltered by ghosts, or he can just return his. Uh, that Rotunda's 3 mana.
Yes. Okay, he's
Yeah.
just gonna
Okay.
bounce that.
Fair. He hit 2 creatures. He's gonna take the Savior of the Small.
Okay, it's not bad. It's a nice one to
Um,
attack with, and then
and
flip up for some
yeah,
surprise value.
and looks like he's gonna shelter by ghost here as well
Okay.
on the crappier creature. I think that makes sense.
Get back a little life.
Some life back.
All right. Well, planes here is not the worst thing in the world. And also,
Goes
I
two
mean,
drop white down.
Keelan bouncing that white card, could have been really, really brutal if Adrian didn't
It's
find
true if
his
he could.
planes right at that moment. It's
Yeah, it's true.
basically turned it into just a straight up removal spell.
Yeah, this is a brutal flip here. Um, he gets to flip it, do extra 3 damage, and
Yeah.
get a card back. Oof.
Get back his 3/3, I guess that was in there. Oh,
Or
there's
the
a 3.
Teddy or
Oh,
the
okay.
surveillance. Yeah. He binned the surveillance on the manifest dread. Um, I think I'd probably take the fear surveillance here. It takes the 3/3. I guess it blocks the fear.
Yeah, but okay. Planes off the top here. So
Does he have
that
split up in hand?
does mean he has split up.
Okay, so he goes.
He might just have
Can
to let
he?
his opponent attack with those 2 creatures, the 3/4 and the 5/3, because
Yeah.
he can do split up here for untapped creatures, but the 3/4 still gets to have free reign next turn if that's the case.
Right, and then you just get 2 more creatures back. Looks like he's just taking the surveillance. He's
I
gonna do
think
untapped.
he's seems like he might be committing to the split up here by just
Yeah.
using the surveil.
Keelan's playing around a pump spell here, not the split up.
Yeah, he saw 2 jump scares, right? So it's very,
Yeah,
very
he's
reasonable. But jump scare isn't good
thinking now.
against the 5/3.
Like if he blocks with the 2/1 here and just give him the 4/4 back, it completely blows up the split up.
Yeah, well, the
actually.
good thing about split up is that Adrian gets his 4/4 back.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I think with that attack, he doesn't really have
yeah. So I guess you
this
got
here.
your 4/4 staring down their 3/4,
Yeah,
but there's a vanish from sight in Keelan's hands, so it's just going to go straight back on top of the library and get a free 2 drop back.
yeah. I mean,
Can you?
split up, a very cool design. Can really change the course of a game. Here, I mean, it changed the course, but it didn't help Adrian as much as
I
he
mean, it
needed it to.
it took out the Overlord, right?
Yeah,
That card's just a bomb. That's got to go.
yeah,
Gets a free creature back here. I really like split up in the decks where you have other ways to tap your creatures. So you can set up the board stall and to tap all my creatures for mana or something, and then blow up all your creatures.
yeah. Here comes
That's where I
Toby.
found
Here
it to be really
comes
good.
yeah. So instead of removing a creature, Keelan just said, I could just put a counter
I'm just
on
gonna make
this,
my
and
creature
it
bigger.
can attack
Yeah,
easily.
I actually missed that room was unlocked. That's fair.
So that room, based on the graphic, it's very hard to tell if the right side is locked or
Hmm.
not because the glowing key is like the exact same tone of color
Yep.
as the card's art.
Yep.
That one, I always forget. It's just sitting there
Oof.
and it
This is
looks
gonna
like it's
hurt.
open and it's not. Yeah,
This is gonna hurt so bad. I think that might be just game.
gonna be hard to come back from this.
Yeah.
He does have another split up to draw. That would likely be the best thing he could find here, but no,
I
another
will say that is his last cheap creature in the bin. So
Another
Saber's got nothing left to get
planes
back.
here means that Zach needs the board wipe and he needs it basically on, like immediately.
Yeah. There's 3 more creatures in Keelan's hand, and he drew a Scorching Dragonfire there,
I guess Adrian
which
gets a slight
I
reprieve with the
cast.
4/4 not attacking here, or unable to attack.
Hmm.
But,
Yeah.
uh,
Do you chump here?
I mean,
2 turn
what are the
clock. Good.
options?
Yeah.
Chump, I'm not sure it matters to Chump or not. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know how many cards get him out of this. The board wipe definitely
I mean, he's about to
doesn't.
potentially throw another 4/4 flyer down. Yeah, he's going to. Um,
Okay, well, here's the chandelier again, and a
it's
lowly
split over bust.
Sumala Sentry from MKM is not going to do the trick here.
It's a good card, but not in this scenario. Yeah, I think this one's over. I think Keelan's going to go 7-0.
It's another face down matters card, but
Yeah, it's what when a card gets flipped up, it like gets a counter or
yeah.
something,
All right.
and it's like a
Well,
1/3 for
Keelan's
2.
going to keep his win streak alive here, going to 7-0, which just means a bigger dread when he loses. But congratulations
Yep.
to Keelan. Please make sure to stick around because we are going to have the Valgavoth showdown in a couple of minutes here with Keelan facing down the Elder Demon himself. So we'll begin that very shortly.